Jurgen, I've been working for Sky for 20 years now.
So you started when you were 12.
Oh, I was hoping that you were going to say something like that. You've been in the game a long time. When you come into a new season, are you just as excited, just as pumped for the challenge as you always have been?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
And it's interesting because I had that in one of the meetings in the preseason. In a moment when you don't have that anymore, then you have really to ask you a serious question. You better enjoy it. And I feel exactly the same. Like always, it's just because it's exciting because you don't know what happens. You have different problems. You have to solve them. So it's never the same. And that's why it's so cool to be part of it.
I think it's fair to say you would have wanted to get off to a better start watching your post-match. I mean, you really hated that, especially the first half performance, didn't you? On reflection, was it as bad as you thought? Yeah.
No.
No?
Yes and no. When you watch it back, of course, we had really good moments, but it was just not enough, and it was not even. I was not even close to what I expected, to be 100% honest. Just because of all the sessions we had, all the games we played, not only the City game, but we had obviously much more sessions than games, and it looked really good. It looked really good, and then the City game looked really good. I was surprised that early, that good, and I go in the game, have a normal week to prepare. And I mean, it's just a slow start, and that's never good, but it's not a massive problem because it can happen. Then the reaction to that was not perfect, and it gave obviously Fulham a boost. Each little ball they won, each situation they had, the crowd was there, and all these kind of things. That's how football works. That's why it's so important to be spot on from the beginning. And so, no, I was not happy with that, but it was not that bad. 1 point is all right. So it's a knock for us, and it felt not good, and from here we go.
Yeah, you say 1 point is all right, but then looking at the bigger picture, when there's only 1 point in it, does it kind of makes that 1 point...
You cannot start.
So, I know. It seems mad to say, but when you get to the end, that point is so precious.
But that would mean we have to win absolutely all the games.
You might have to this season.
Yeah. So then we have already no chance anymore. So no, that's not how it goes, and that makes no sense. That's not dealing with the situation. That's getting desperate, getting crazy about a situation. When you lose the league because of 1 point, and you start a league with 1 point, and you in that moment turn crazy, and you have no chance. So we have to be cool, and we have to be calm, and we could have got the points against City last year when we played them, for example, and we didn't. So we shared points, which is okay. But if we want to be ahead of them, I think it makes sense we win at least one of the 2 games, and that's how it is. But it's not only City; it's just City as well. And so again, it still doesn't feel great, to be honest. This Fulham game, when we now talk about it, it's not that I think it's history, because it is past, but it's not that far ago.
I'm not going to ask you about transfers because you're not going to tell me who you're bringing in. But when you've got a bit of an older side, maybe.
Thank you
on average,
very
I mean
much.
that's a factual thing. I mean, I feel it's a bit rich coming from me talking about older people, but it's a worry. It's a bit of a concern because you could be one more injury away from having a more serious problem.
Yeah, true. I don't think it has too much to do with age, but because we talk about 30-year-old people, 29, 30, 31. So if we would have if we would have been considered as old in that age, that would be really funny.
Yeah.
So, and in sports, it's not like this. It's a bit of football thing that we always think, 34, 35. If you're a professional, a top professional like James Milner or others out there, David Silva still playing, I think at least, and so like a lot of these guys are still playing. But no, it's true. The thing is, it's easy for us to bring a midfielder in, but it's not so easy to bring the right midfielder in, and so that's for money reasons and for contractual reasons, so which most of the time go hand in hand. So that's really the thing, and it's not that we deny signing a player if we have a problem with injuries, for example. But it's a completely different situation to the beginning of the season, beginning of the preseason, when everybody told me we need a new midfielder. That was about the kind of midfielder, and that's a completely different discussion. And we didn't need a different kind of midfielder. But if the right midfielder would have been available, we would have gone then as well. So, and now the situation changed slightly. We have more injuries, that's true, but it still can only be about the right.
Yeah.
And that's not easy. And there's nothing to do with that. It's now August already, and in end of August the transfer window closes. No, it's just because it's 2022, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2022, and people have contracts until 4, 5, or 6. So that's the situation, and that's why we have to be calm, and we are calm, and have to sort our problems with the boys we have. And it is difficult already, and it might become more difficult, but it's still all about solutions, and only one of these solutions is the transfer market. All the other solutions are here.
You do have a good knack of bringing in the right ones, though. Darwin Nunez, Darwin Nunez definitely seems to be one of those. He's got that pizzazz, I think, which is typified by his goal, but he's also a little bit kind of rough around the edges as well, which is good, which you kind of need in this league. What do you like?
He's a proper striker.
Yeah.
All about him is a striker. So he's actually only concerned about that. Then I'm sure that's you can see that in all his movements and stuff like this. And now, but we said it 5 weeks ago, we started preseason, and he started, and the first game didn't look that great, obviously from the outside world, not for us, but when people was doing that and stuff like this, it's crazy how quick we judge people. Wow.
I know.
If somebody would do it to us, to each of them, and would say, "Oh, first day in work, oh, it didn't work out, go home, and never want to see you again. You don't get a second chance, by the way." Imagine that.
Yeah.
So
I would have been long gone.
Yeah, we all. My God, no chance. And so that's and obviously, meanwhile, everybody can see, he's a proper striker, and that's good for us, good for him. And yes, he's a handful, and he is really a different type to what we had. Very lively, very energetic, physically really strong, technically really good, and that obviously goes together with being more settled and more confident and more secure about yourself in the new environment. You cannot say in the first day, "Come on, now show me your 100% immediately." That has to develop, and that's what we are doing at the moment with him, and he's in a really good way.
Yeah. When you look at your sort of closest rivals, I know it might not be a two-horse race this season. There are other great teams in this league, but Manchester City have obviously brought in Erling Haaland, and they're kind of saying, "Wow, he's going to be getting 30, 40 goals this season." I mean, they seem to have gone to the next level. You have to kind of keep going with them. How kind of confident are you that you're going to be doing that?
Cannot really. It's really funny as well. I think we won against City the week before.
Yeah.
And then everybody was asking, will Haaland score a real goal?
Oh, no, it's crazy, isn't it? A week
in
football is like a year.
It's like 10 years. So it's really funny. It's not so important if he can go wherever together with Man City. It's more important that we can reach the same level and go from there. Like last year or the last years, and go from there and try to improve. And that's what we are really working on. And I saw a lot of things in the City game, especially where this was obvious for me, which felt really good. But it's not about that. I would be happy if it's a two-horse race and we have to just be concerned about City, but I can't see that, to be honest. But the season is so young. We have already injury problems. I'm not sure other teams have them as well already, but they will get them at one point. It's all about how you deal with that. And so we just have to win football games. And around about, I'm not sure, but probably 1 million ways to win a football game. We only have to find one. So that should be possible, and that's what we try.